Welcome to another edition of our Let's Talk show. I'm your host, Andrew James, and today I'm pleased to have with us in studio Mr. Kingsley Johnson, well known during his time at Mackenzie High School as a shot put specialist.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you for having me here. It's a privilege and an appreciation that you could have invited me on the program. And I'm here, and hopefully I could be of assistance to you and someone who's listening that could change their prospect about life and stuff like that. So I hope this interview will do you good.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Welcome aboard. Thank you for being a part of our show. Going back in time, I know you as a king of the shot put performance. I remember one year I was up against you, and I personally did not show up because of my fear.
Against me or you was up against the person that got second because I had no competition, especially at Intel.
Well, for some reason, they decided that year they're going to put me up against. I felt like I was David up against Goliath. So I
Wow.
didn't bother showing up. Mr. Johnson, can you tell us a little bit about your time at Mackenzie High School and your experience, if you don't mind me asking, please?
Okay, my name is Kingsley Johnson, better known as Everyday, and my years at Mackenzie High School. Um, I started Mackenzie High School back in 1993, and I finished in year 2000. I was initially placed in One Sophia, in which I repeated Form 1. And then in my second year, I started off in One Sophia as a repeater. And for some reason, I ended up in One Topaz. I think one of the best decisions that ever happened. One of the best things that ever happened to me in my years at Mackenzie High School. Um, it was a wonderful experience, man. I was known as a notorious one, or was a part of a notorious group of popular guys that went to Mackenzie High School.
Yes,
It
yes.
it was a privilege and honor to be a past student of Mackenzie High School. I have a lot of respect for that institution. I always talk about Mackenzie High School. If my kids was living in Guyana, I would love for them to continue that Mackenzie High School tradition. So Mackenzie High School is dear to my heart, man. That's my sweetheart. That's my baby right there.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. I know so much has changed from our time at Mackenzie High School to now, both for yourself and for me. Can you tell us how Mackenzie High School has prepared you for the real life of work and what exactly it is that you do in your current job?
Okay, the first part of the question, Mackenzie High School preparing me for the real world. I would say the discipline that was taught onto us in Mackenzie High School, or my time at Mackenzie High School, was real beneficial to me, especially in the future life that I'm living right now, in the career that I have. So that discipline helped me and shaped me, especially in terms of being punctual, in terms of being respectful to those in authority and stuff like that. So that experience in Mackenzie High School really prepared me for the real world. I would say not so much of my life in Guyana, my previous life, like my previous job experience in job life in Guyana, but it prepared me, especially when I came to the USA. You see all the stuff that they was teaching us back then, like being on time and being disciplined and following the rules and regulation and stuff like that. That was really, really helpful to me, especially in my career. Presently, I'm a safety specialist or a site competent person that's me responsible for hundreds of workers, especially on the construction site. I'm like the kind of I'm the, like you would say, the most important guy on the job site. In order for any work to happen on the job site, they have to have a safety specialist. And my responsibility is making sure these workers work in a safe and efficient manner so that we all go back home to our family. So I would say that whole experience of Mackenzie High School with the discipline and me being on time and tardiness and stuff like that prepared me for the real world, especially in the field that I'm in. You know, that's just my day job. But my other job is plumbing. I'm a professional plumber. I work with my My brother have a plumbing company, so that's my weekend job. And the experience from Mackenzie High School that helped me in my professional career so far. So I would, yeah, say it's a privilege and a honor to go to Mackenzie High School and put what I've learned at my time at Mackenzie High School into the professional world that I'm living in right now. So it was a honor and privilege, man.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. Can you tell us a little bit about how COVID has changed your job, if you don't mind me asking, please?
COVID-19. This is a nightmare, but I would say in terms of it had a lot of responsibility to my job because of course it was just the safety part in terms of make sure workers following the OSHA guidelines and stuff like that. But also we have COVID-19 here with us, so we have the COVID-19 protocols that we have to follow in terms of wearing your face mask, safe distancing, sanitizing the tools that you use and stuff like that, especially if you're going to be sharing tools and all that. So COVID-19 had a lot of extra responsibility on me as a safety rep, but I relish that. Things like that I love. So this job is what I love doing. So it's a blessing and a disguise at the same time. So I must make sure that these workers work safe and they follow the COVID-19 protocols and the guidelines set aside because we want to maintain our health. So we have to go back. We have to go back home to our family. So once we follow those guidelines, we work safely. We go back home to our family. We won't take no infection or disease or virus home to them. So yeah, that's all I want to say about that COVID.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I know safety, I think at our company, the motto is safety is everybody's business. Early on, Mr. Johnson, you said that during your MHS years, you were, I guess, to some degree, in slightly. I know everyone that went to Mackenzie High School, most of us were angels. You mentioned that you were mixed up with a couple tough guys. What advice would you give to a current Mackenzie High School student that's following bad company? I'll put you on the spot for this one, please.
Yeah, following bad company. Well, I told you before, bad company get a lot of different description goes to it. But I could give you a few examples. Like,
sure,
you're a present student in Mackenzie High School. You're following bad company, like in terms of gangs and involving drugs and sex and stuff that. Oh well, we all know kids go to school, they trying to be mature and stuff like that before they age, But the thing is that drugs and violence and gangs and those stuff don't put you nowhere, and that's going to only affect you negatively in the future. You don't want those things on your record, So if you're a present student in Mackenzie High School and you're involved in these illegal and illicit activities, I would try to tell you that you're heading in the wrong direction already. In my time, we didn't have gangs and stuff like that. We was mainly known for being notoriously bad, We always want to doing other stuff that is not dangerous or not detrimental towards your life and your health. But
right.
This time that you're living in, I would advise you to it's not the right part, man. Focus on your schoolwork. Enjoy that free education because I'm gonna tell you this: when you're young and your parents are taking care of you and sending you to school, that's the best time of your life to grab that free education because when you get old and you're not qualified and you have to go back to school in your old age, like me, I'm presently approaching my 40th year on earth and I'm now trying to finish up all those school stuff that I passed up in my younger days. So
right.
take it while you get it. It's free now. Enjoy your school years. I'm not saying that you won't have fun and stuff like that, but you stay away from the bad things like drugs and partying and all that. You could put a pause on that for now, especially the partying, and finish your school year. Listen to the authorities, listen to the teacher, listen to your parents, be a model student. It's good to be a model student. Take that from me. I can tell you from past experience. You don't want to be known as the notorious one. You know,
Hmm.
the whole school life gonna be challenges from day one. So you wanna like do the right thing. Listen to the ones that's there before. You know, the teachers. Yeah, I know some teachers might have issues and stuff like that, but they were here before. They were there before, so they can only give you from their past experience. You know, you try to take in as much as possible and try to be a good student, man. Utilize that opportunity that you're having, especially going to Mackenzie High School is a privilege, especially if you're living in Linden. You know, you take that opportunity and you run with it, man. You know, try to make the best of it. That's the best advice I can give one of the present students right now. You know?
Very good. Well said. Thank you, sir. I think in some degrees we're all little angels, but I guess it depends on your perspective.
I said some sarcasm in your voice, man. You know I wasn't no angel, man. My school was bad. One of my best friends when I used to go to Mackenzie High School was Michael Lowe. And you know, Michael Lowe and Kingsley Johnson. Trust me, man. And then we had this class in third farm where
Yeah.
they decided to put all the repeaters together. I don't know if I'm going ahead of your interview, but I'm just trying to like give you a light of what happened. I remember when I passed with the farm tree, they put all the repeaters, all whoever repeats, all those who have a bad record, like you put them in one cell block. You know, you do the bad the body. Yeah. So we was known as a notorious class, but at the end of that experience was one of my best experiences in Mackenzie High School.
Who was your teacher in that tough class?
Oh well. So I remember it was like yesterday. I remember the first day in class. This was when we discovered that they put all the rotten eggs in one basket. So I'm in the class and I'm in my mind I'm thinking, who's gonna be brave enough? Who's gonna be brave enough to come and be the class teacher of this class?
Yes. Yes.
Within seconds of me thinking that, this big black guy just walked into class and his face all serious, like, man, I was like, whoa, we got a new one. Whole class stand up. His name was Mr. Cleveland Thomas.
Yes.
You know?
Oh yes. Yes. I
Yeah,
remember him very well.
All the time, man. Sir Thomas, yeah, he came with discipline and everything, but he made us believe in ourselves, man. I'm telling you, we had a class of notorious ones, past repeaters, but I think we was one of the best farm tree class heading over to our main building that year. So, you know, I owe a lot to Mr. Cleveland Thomas, man. That guy made me believe in myself. You know, yeah, that was a good experience, man.
Yeah, Mr. Thomas has made significant contributions to Mackenzie High School in terms
I would
of.
say he made learning fun. You know,
Right.
before that, I never passed in integrated science until Sir Thomas he taught me integrated science. So I would say that yeah, he made learning fun, man. I really owe a lot to Sir Thomas. You know, I try to model a lot of things after him because I know he gave me the idea that yeah, I could work and still do a side hustle because I know he used to sell that Milky Way. Me and I think it was Rennie Stobie, we were the ones responsible for that business. You know, whenever he's not there, he leave a picture with us and we take care of that. So that helped me to think about other side hustles, you know. So yeah, that experience was a wonderful.
Excellent. I respect Mr. Thomas today, and I respect you and all my other peers. What do you think we can do to influence change in the lives of current Mackenzie High School students?
There's a lot of things that we could do to influence change and making a present student of Mackenzie High School life more worthy, you know, and more. It's like in the present group that we have right now, we have a few projects in terms of the helping out with the restricted laptop for the students. I don't have access to a laptop. The group also did a we call it a repainting of the school and stuff like that. You know, trying to make a student life comfortable. You know, it was always my dream to like see how best I could help assisting other students. You know, like the present students of Mackenzie High School. You know, I know going to school and not having a pen, not having a ruler and stuff like that. So my thing is like most of the students that went to Mackenzie High School in the past or we living overseas, you know, access to pens and crayons and simple stuff like that, you know, because like send those things home and you know a student comes to school, you don't have a pen, you don't have a black socks, a pair of socks or simple things like that. We could come together as a group, make it available to admin so in case a student comes to school and don't have these basic stuff, these basic necessities that is important for the education, you know, if we could do things like these as a alumni society or alumni group, you know, try to make a student's life as comfortable, you know, because we know that education is important, but if you produce the right environment that will help in learning, you know, the student could learning could be at a higher level, you know, and we could get better results at CXP and stuff like that, you know. In terms of making a student's life comfortable, you know, it will help with their results. And it could go a far way, and we doing that. When they finish school, they remember what we did for them, and they would want to do it for the future generation. So, like helping and assisting in whatever way we could as past students, it's a wonderful initiative, man. I'm pleased to be a part of that group. You know, and whatever contribution I can make over the years to come, I will always be there to make that contribution and helping some student's life easier and better. You know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Together, we can make a difference. I remember my time at Mackenzie High School. I had one pair of socks, and it was, I guess we were going to school on Monday morning, and I had forgotten to wash the socks. So I did a quick wash, and I tried pressing it. Bad mistake, man. Bad idea. I think I broke the neck of the sock. So it's a sad story.
I remember having one pair of socks too, and you know we had to wear that black sack.
Yes.
It was important to wear black sack. So,
yes.
So you had one pair of socks. You didn't wash your socks. You decided to wash the socks, and for some reason it didn't dry the next morning. You got to wear that wet socks to school without a sock, man. So things like those, you know, we could assist the students. And man, we live in a country that socks is cheap.
Yes.
I'm sure you have probably like 50 pairs of socks, you know what I'm saying? So maybe we could donate a 10 pair. Each one of us could donate a 10 pair of socks, all packs of 10. We have pens in the 99-cent store, 10 in a pack at $1. So somebody spent $10, 100 pens, you know. So a class teacher could have like 100 pens in a bag. Somebody miss, I don't have a pen, you know. It's free, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Extra order when a student got to take his lunch money, probably $200 he have for lunch and $100. If we can make things like these available for students, it'd be a nice thing.
Mr. Johnson, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. On behalf of the Mackenzie High School Alumni Association North American Chapter, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for joining with us and sharing your experience as it relates to your time at Mackenzie High School. Thank you. I appreciate all that you're doing, the significant contributions you've made over the years to the school, and all that you've committed yourself to doing currently. You're a true steward of the school, and it's still reflected in you up until your later ages in life.
It was a privilege to be here. When you first announced the invitation to me, I was like, "What Andrew up to, man? Why Andrew want to have this program?" But it was a pleasure being here, and whatever happened today, I hope that could be of inspiration to some students that are struggling, especially the average student. I would like to say to them, don't ever give up, man. You might be getting good grades, and the grades that give you recognition as an academic, but don't ever give up. Life is a long journey. You might be doing well in school now, but in your adult age, you still go back to school and do well, you know. So take advantage of the opportunity you have right now, and for the pleasure being here. I don't want to keep you more longer. Thank you very much for having me, Andrew, and it was a pleasure. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks again. Stay safe, and God bless you. Thank you.